Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for June 13th to the 20th, 2025. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, you're very welcome, and thank you for adding your energy to mine so that we can co-create these readings in service to more life together. And with that, let's close our eyes and we'll set the intention for this reading for this week. Eyes closed, nice deep breath in, and letting that go. We'll take two more of those. Coming home to our body with every breath. And with that third exhale, I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment. Knowing that this tree root is not only anchoring you and allowing you to be fully here now, but it is also a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, now and in the future, as we co-create this reading of the week for June 13th to the 20th, 2025. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to be present, to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window that we have together here today. I'd also like to invite the four archangels to come and hold the four directions around us, creating a sacred container of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of safety, of peace, of transformation, of grounding, of insight. Whatever it is that is uppermost in each of our individual lives may be honored and held here in a good way for our good, so that we can be more whole, more healthy, happier, grounded, present, and lined up with our gifts and our abilities in service to more life at this time. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. And with that, let's get into the reading, shall we? Okay, Creator, we are gathered once again for our good, the good of those we love, the good of our community, the good of our human family, and our place on this beautiful planet. What would be most helpful for us to know this week, please? In service to more life, in service to more good, to help us release that which no longer serves us, to help us to clarify what is important for us at this time as we navigate the energies of this time. What do we need to know, Creator, so that we can be at our best and bring our good to the world? Okay. Oh, excuse me. Okay, starting with, where we come from. Passage, the energy of transition, the time of transition, moving from one place to another through a time of tumultuous energy. That's what the passage card is all about. Six of Swords. Swords is ideas in action. This is happening in our minds. It's happening in our action, in how we're dealing with the world as a result of a change of mind and a change of awareness. So it's been a hard time. In the story of this card, we have these people on a boat. They've lost their rudder. They've lost their mast. They've been through a terrible storm, and they can't steer the boat. They simply have to trust and go with where they're being carried. But there's this lovely rainbow in the sky, which symbols a covenant with the divine, and this dove that is also from biblical reference, which is an indicator of all is going to be well. The messenger, which brought back the branch of a green leaf, which indicated that there was dry land somewhere in the story of Noah and the ark. And we see this individual here signaling with his handkerchief, kind of hard to see perhaps with my camera, but in the distance, he's signaling a boat and they're about to be rescued. So all is well, but it has been a hard time. They have been through a lot and it's taken a toll, and it is okay. The relief, knowing that they're about to be rescued and all will be well, is bringing them to a new peaceful state within, understanding that they will be taken care of, they're moving in a new direction, all will be well. So this is the energy of where we're coming from this week, and it's important in our present, in our future, to just give ourselves some credit for the journey we've been on and the changes we've seen and the changes that continue. This isn't a done deal. This is still a time of transition. They'll be rescued by the boat, but they still have to travel home. They're not home yet. So there's still that energy of change, of things not being as they were or not being necessarily even familiar. And yet it's all moving us in the right direction. But we do have to surrender. We have to. We have no choice. We have no rudder. We have no mast. There's this call to surrender to the flow, to trust higher power, that it's all for us. We're ultimately being taken where we need to be, and it is all for our good. So this is the quality of the energy that we're coming from this week. This just being okay with where we've been, not fighting it, not resisting it, not pushing water uphill, but just understanding that this is the energy that we're from. And if we're a little tired, well, there's a reason why, and it's okay. And if you need to take care of yourself, please do, because no one will take care of you like you can when you make that decision. Your mother is probably not going to tuck you into bed. You need to do that. So remember your self-care piece with this card, because it has been a great sense of upheaval. There have been changes, and there continues to be change. And we need to go with what serves us so that we can continue the flow. We can continue the journey. We can continue going until we get home. The present card, we have the card of defeat, the Five of Swords, but you'll notice the person is not in a crumpled little ball on the ground like one would imagine one would be in a defeat scenario. We have an individual who's standing on the white rose of purified desire. And that desire, that clarity, is giving them the wherewithal to face anything, any adversity that is coming their way with dignity, with awareness, with power and resources. So although this card may represent adversity or challenges to our wherewithal and our ability to be on it and in our fully empowered lives, what this card is reminding us is we have to keep coming from the yes. We have to keep moving towards that pure desire that exists in each one of us. That human desire that we each have is what moves not only us as individuals forward, but the collective consciousness of humanity. It is what caused us to evolve and will continue to cause us to evolve. It is very, very important to be paid attention to. And each one of us, as you know if you've been listening to these readings, has our own desire. It's this pure calling to what it is that we're here to do. What is our calling? What is it that we're called to? Well, mine is different than yours. But in the moment, when we bring the breath back to the body, like I just did, we bring the mind back at the same time. And then our body is allied. We have the mind and the body and the spirit and the heart. When we bring them all together, we make much better decisions because we are whole at that point. And then we respond from the heart. We respond from our highest enthusiasm. We respond rather than react. That's the quality of energy we want to tap into with our yes. And with each one of us in humanity moving more towards our yes at this time, we're moving humanity forward far more quickly than we could if we were following what the collective is telling us to do. You should do this. Shoulds, right? When we listen to information outside of ourselves, we have to pay attention. Does it feel congruent? How are we feeling in response to that information? That's an important signal for us to know where we need to be putting our attention. If it isn't feeling in alignment with our yes, with our highest knowing, then maybe it's time to refocus our energy and maybe pull back a little bit from wherever we've been giving our energy and our attention. That will give us what we need to navigate whatever challenges are before us. And so we have this individual who's facing the adversity of life, who's facing this energy of potentially of defeat, and maybe it's a message that's coming from outside of them. You are defeated. We are defeating you. You cannot rise above. And that's not true. Humanity has always overcome the challenges that it faces. And if not as an individual, then as a collective. And we have our part to play. And when we come from that pure desire, we play our part beautifully. We bring through what is needed at this time when we follow our highest enthusiasm and go towards that which lights us up the most. Then we have the energy, the resources, the resilience to respond to whatever the external world might be messaging towards us or throwing in our field. And we don't have to pick it up. We don't have to react. We don't have to respond. We can go forward with courage, with dignity, with grace, based on our connection to source energy, which is that excitement, that enthusiasm I'm talking about. We feel that because that's life calling us to more life. And God is life. Remember that. God is life. And what brings us to more life is the energy of the divine calling us onward into moreness. So never doubt that part. Never drop that part, because without it we get lost. Because then we're looking for external validation rather than the internal validation that comes when we move our lives towards our yes, from the inside out rather than the outside in. Living from the outside in has been what we've been doing, but it is likely to take us away from what we're here to do. And so that's why this piece is so important. We have to live our yes. That's where life wants us. That's why it's compelling. And we have permission. That's why we were born. It's not some terrible thing to go towards what is shiniest for you. You're not a selfish, horrible human being if you go towards what you're called to. And I'm not talking about at that lower animal level, because, well, we're higher than that. We're loftier than that. We have a human animal body, yes, and it has its needs and desires, but we're not to be run by those. We aspire to higher things. And that's the energy that I'm talking about, the aspiration, that calling into our highest expression, our evolution, our best version of ourselves. That's the yes that I'm talking about. Okay, near future. The King, Prince of Hearts. He's running around with his heart out, inviting everyone to come and join him, to have fun, to enjoy life, to get into their heart and to celebrate, to have beautiful times together. There's card knights. Princes are knights in my deck. And this quality of change and movement on the level of the heart towards more heart-centeredness, towards more celebration, more joy. Staying in our yes will take us where we want to go. It's where everything that we want is. It's where all the relationships are, where the opportunities are. It's all there for us. And as we move in that direction, as I said before, we have what we need to face whatever the external adversities may be. And it's carrying us to our people, to the opportunities to gather with others and to celebrate, to have more life, which is ultimately what this is showing us. So that's in the near future. This lovely energy of gathering with others and celebrating the beauties of this life. Foundation card, celebration, the 3 of Hearts. This is the foundation card. So we have 2 hearts and 2 swords. So a little bit of air, and this is the air is the mind, right? We want to realize that the mind is powerful and precious and helpful. And it isn't the only aspect of us. We have our hearts, we have our intuition, we have our minds, we have our spirits, we have all aspects of us that need to come together, the body as well. And so the mind might get us into trouble if we're not anchoring it with the heart and the body. Like I've said before, that lovely deep breath in that we can do in any moment calls us back, calls our mind from its wanderings, its explorations of possibilities and potentials, back to the body. And the body is the compass. The body has the wisdom. It knows the yes for us and it knows our no. And when we come home to our body before we make decisions, we make far better decisions because we're listening to what's true and authentic for us. And this is what these two cards are saying. Yes, the mind. If we get into the mind, we'll get derailed a little bit. So come home to the body, ground what you know from the mind into the wisdom of the body, into the knowingness of the body. And from this place, getting into a more heart-centered place, we find that there is more openings for celebration. There's more to enjoy about life. We notice what is good. We bless that. When we come home to our bodies and we get into a state of appreciation, that is a beautiful, magical place to be. Because life loves to give us more to appreciate and celebrate. So finding excuses and opportunities, especially for those of us here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're going towards the vernal equinox and high summer, and the many magnificent beauties of this season, the fragrances in the air, the beauty of the flowers, the scents on the breeze, the opportunity to be out in nature barefoot, getting into the waters. It's a magnificent time. So we need to pull into that energy and get into it deeply and really enjoy it, celebrate it within ourselves and with others. Just that gorgeous thing, getting together and celebrating the good. Because, well, let's face it, there's lots in the world we could moan and complain about and go down rabbit holes and wind up feeling kind of ooky because we've put our energy in places that don't really nourish us. Or we can put our attention, our energy on our purified desire, on that part of us that is aspiring to be so much more. And go towards our yes, go towards more beauty, go towards more love, go towards more kindness, more satisfaction, more pleasure. There's a pickup of last week's message, going to pleasure, being in our beautiful bodies and letting ourselves savor and enjoy the reality of what it means to be in human form at this time on this planet, and the information that that provides for us and gives us permission. What are we grateful for? Practice of gratitude. If you don't know anything else about any of this stuff, a practice of gratitude will serve you very well. In the morning, what are you grateful for? At night, before bed, what are you grateful for? When we count our blessings, we become very aware of how blessed we are. And then our heart opens into gratitude and appreciation. And the last thing I'll say is, beauty is another trigger for the heart opening, which is why I'm encouraging us all to get out and enjoy the natural wonders of wherever we are. Get into nature. Go observe the beauty and let your heart be cracked open by the beauty and the wonder of this world. And for some of us, that's animal life. For some of us, it's plant life. For some of us, it's beautiful landscapes. For some of us, it's relationships. We all have different things that move us. It could be music. It could be art. There's so many things that bring us to more life and drop us into our heart and open us wide. But gratitude and beauty are two surefire ways, two bridges to the divine, helping us to access the broader, wider part of us and to go deeper and be more present and to have a richer experience. And as we have that rich experience, we tap into the broader, wiser part of us, and we have more of that in our field. And that's what we're looking for. We want to have more of the energy of who we truly are in this human form, in this human field. And for those who do yoga or have Qigong practice or Tai Chi practice or any of those movement arts, meditation practice, the more we spend time with our practice, the more we spend time in that good feeling energy, and anything can become a practice, anything that gets us to that state, the more we spend time in that state of oneness, spaciousness, bliss, well-being. As I said, gratitude and beauty are two ways to do it, but you can also have a yoga practice or a Qigong practice or a walking meditation practice. You can be a musician playing an instrument and getting into that zone. You can be a painter accessing it. There are many, many, many ways up the mountain, many doorways into the temple of the sacred. And that's what we're looking for, to spend more time in the temple. Because when we do, and we become familiar with that energy, and we allow ourselves to reset to that frequency, We become beacons for that energy as we move through life. We take our practice from the mat into the world, and we become the clarity and the beauty and the opportunity and the opening for the good of others. We support each other in moving forward into our experience. It's fulfilling not just for us, but for anyone whose life we touch through our presence. So it's so much more than just our individual journey, because we're all here together. We're all part of a oneness, having unique experience at this time, but we're here for each other. We exist in community. And as we do our life and we do our experiences and we bump into each other and we fall down and we pick ourselves up and we dust ourselves off and we get back into the bliss state, we pull in that good energy into the world in beautiful ways that helps all of us to go a little further and to have a more beautiful experience and to access this gorgeous divine state, which is where all the good that we want is. So this is the energy of this reading this week. Getting out of the mind, getting into the heart, getting out of the outside in and living from the inside out. There's a surrender, there's a trust, there's a flow, listening to the wise heart at the core of each of us, listening to the wisdom of our bodies, our yes, our no, moving in the direction of our yes, and celebrating where life takes us, all the many blessings. And if you happen to be going through a time where you aren't feeling particularly blessed, then I would encourage you to practice a little bit of discipline, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and see if you can find what you're grateful for, whatever small thing it is. Because when we shift our attention, we shift our whole energy field. We shift our whole point of attraction. And that's where mastery comes in. We can wallow ourselves into a deep pit if we're not mindful of what we're doing with our attention. We need to be disciplined at this time. That's why I'm encouraging you to focus on what you're grateful for, to focus on some beauty, to get out and do something that lights you up, that opens your heart and makes you feel really whole. That's the energy that we need right now. That beautiful wholeness transmits to the collective human field, makes it easier for others to attain that state, and it helps the collective field to shift more into a more resourceful, resilient, positive state, which is empowering for all of us. The work we do for ourselves in service to our good and our yes is also in service to more life. That's how beautifully the deck is stacked in our favor as individuals and as a collective. So I think that's pretty clear for this week. This is a beautiful time. Enjoy it. Get into it. Be in your body. Enjoy the beauty. Invite your higher, wiser self to have more time with you and to smell the roses with you. And that will do a lot to shift you as an individual in your own experience. When we bring our frequency up, life meets us at a different level. And life happens at a different level. And we can change it. We're not at the effect of our experience. We can be disciplined, we can be focused, we can be masterful enough to shift that focus. And a powerful first step is gratitude. And with that, let's go to our card to grow on. Okay, Creator, so what do we need to know? In addition to this beautiful energy of celebration, of getting into the heart, of enjoying this beautiful life that we are here to live in these amazing human bodies, it would be most helpful for us to take away with us this week so that we can move forward with clarity and grace and in service, in true service to the best for ourselves, for those around us, for the human collective, and for the Earth family and our mother, Gaia. Okay, our card to grow on. The Lovers. So, Major Arcana, Soul Growth card. The Lovers. With this card, we have this individual, this fellow here is being held in true love's light embrace by his partner. And we know this because all her chakras are lit up. And this relationship, this right relationship between the masculine and the feminine within, is in balance, except he's distracted by the sultry creature down at the bottom. So this card is reminding us, asking us, where are we distracting ourselves from where we need to be, from our true love's light embrace, from our yes, from that beautiful calling in our hearts to take us to more good. Why are we letting ourselves getting pulled off course? What is so compelling about this? And is it truly compelling, or is it just a distraction? Are we procrastinating? Whatever it is, we don't need to make ourselves wrong, but we do need to become aware and then perhaps get curious about why we're not choosing what it is that we really want. When we move in the direction of what we want, that grows and amplifies. If we get distracted, we're dissipating our energy. And that's very common right now on the planet. We're all being called into our mastery. Where are we distracting ourselves? What are we giving our energy to that's pulling us away from what it is that we want to be doing in the world or what we want to be offering to life? We all do it. It's a very human thing. But this card for this week, the card to grow on, is just reminding us, where are we distracted? How can we pull our energy back? How can we get back on course so that we can have that beautiful life that we're called to, celebrating the good in our experience? Because regardless of how dark life is, there's always good. And when we give that energy and attention, that expands. But if we fall into the hole and we focus on what isn't working and how terrible such and such politician is and how awful this is and how bad this is, and we call our friends up and we all agree how terrible it is, we're not building the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. We're distracted and wallowing in something that might feel kind of good, like wiggling a loose tooth. But it's not actually serving us. It's not actually serving humanity. It's not actually taking us in the direction of more of what it is that the higher, broader, wiser part of us wants us to go towards. And you can notice it's just how you feel. If you feel kind of oogie after you've spent time, trashing so-and-so or such a thing, and like I said, we all do it, just notice how you feel. Has it added unto you, or has it diminished your energy? Has it taken you in the direction of what you want, or has it taken you away from what you want? That's what we need to be paying attention to. Where is the energy? Where is the life force? Where is the optimism, the resilience, the positivity, the good? That's where we want to go. That's the direction. And it's really important, especially now. The world is a very wacky place, and whatever we're giving our attention to is what we're nourishing. So this is why I'm encouraging you to get very disciplined and aware. And I'm not criticizing you or making you wrong if you're having a moment, because we all do. But then we need to take a breath and say, yeah, okay, that didn't really take me where I want to go. I'm making a new decision now. I'm coming back to what will serve me. I'm pulling my energy away from this distraction. I'm coming back to true love's light embrace, my right relationship with the divine, right balance between my masculine and the feminine, right balance between all of these things, state of neutrality, state of higher consciousness. I'm getting into that broader, wiser perspective. I'm living from that place with love and ease and grace. That's where magic happens. And so that is our reading this week. Hopefully it has helped you to get a little bit clearer about what will be helpful and supportive and empowering for you this week, so that you can have a wonderful week of enjoying life, of coming home to your beauty and your wisdom and your power, your connection to source energy, and having more of it in every moment. Because that's the practice that we're all involved in right now, is how do we have more of the divine? How do we have that connection to source existent within us in every moment? Deliberately cultivating it to the best of our ability. And that's where the ancient practices come in. That's what they're all about. Cultivating our connection to source energy, becoming very familiar with it so that we can run it whenever we want. We can access it whenever we want. It becomes who we are. We train ourselves by spending time in it. Our physiology matches the energy state that we are masterfully learning to hold. So this is an ongoing journey. This is a time of growth and empowerment, and humanity is going where it's never been before. So this can be a little bit uncomfortable. But if you just stay in gratitude and stay focused on where your highest enthusiasm is in this moment, you won't go wrong. Life will be guiding you towards more life. And that's where we all need to be. I invite you to close your eyes. Let's take a nice deep breath together. letting it go. And the miraculous thing is we can do it again. Nice deep breath in. And letting it go. Creator, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to gather and collect and gather and learn and grow and expand into the broader, wiser parts of us, to receive the distinctions that will serve us best for the coming week so that we can continue our journey upwards, up the mountain in our own way, in our own right timing, with light hearts, cultivating our connection to source energy in beautiful ways so that we can be all that we are here to be in service to more life. I want to thank all those who helped to hold this space today. All the grandmothers, all the grandfathers, all those who love us, all those who came before us, and all those who just care about us but hang out on the other side. We are surrounded by loved ones who want us to thrive and enjoy this experience and bloom and be all that we're here to be. And we're grateful for the support and love of that family of life. And we're grateful for the opportunity to come together and gather our energy intentionally for our good, personally and collectively. Thank you for being here this week, for adding your energy to mine, and for making this reading possible. And I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. If you would like your very own reading, where you and I can just talk about what's up for you and help you to come to peace and clarity, I'm available for that. The information is underneath this video. And with that, I wish you a beautiful week, much happiness, much appreciation, gratitude, love, light, beauty, so that you can tap into that magnificent state of connection to Source and live there more often. This reading is at an end, and so it is. See you next week. Bye for now.